Somewhere inside you, right now, there is enough iron to forge a small nail, enough calcium to whiten a stretch of chalk, enough carbon for thousands of pencils. This sounds like a chemistry lesson until you ask where it all came from. Because the iron in your blood was not made on Earth. It was not made in our sun. It was forged in the final seconds of a dying star, in an explosion bright enough to outshine an entire galaxy. That is not a metaphor. Tonight, that is simply the inventory. You are not just made of matter. You are made of endings. 3 things. Where your atoms were actually born, all of them. The deaths that had to happen on schedule for you to exist, and what it means that after 13.8 billion years of catastrophe, some of that debris is sitting here, listening to this. You have heard the phrase before, "We are stardust." It sounds like poetry, something printed on a greeting card, soft and unprovable. Here is what almost nobody tells you. It is not poetry. It is bookkeeping. Every element in your body has a birth certificate, and astronomers can read them. So let's read yours, atom by atom, from the beginning, the actual beginning. In the first minutes of the universe, everything that existed was built from almost nothing. The Big Bang wrote the entire cosmos with one letter, hydrogen, a little helium, a whisper of lithium, and then nothing else. For millions of years, the universe was a dark fog of the 2 simplest things possible. Now hold out your hand. In every drop of water in your body, there are hydrogen atoms, and they are those atoms, 13.8 billion years old, older than the galaxy. Every glass of water you have ever drunk contained pieces of the first minutes of time. But hydrogen alone cannot make a person. Carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, the alphabet of life, none of it existed. The universe had to build it, and it built it in furnaces. A star is not a light in the sky. A star is a forge, a place where gravity crushes hydrogen so hard it fuses into heavier and heavier elements. Helium, carbon, oxygen, all the way up. There is just one problem. The star keeps everything. Every atom it makes stays locked in its core, sealed under the weight of the star itself. A treasure chest at the bottom of a gravity well with no key. And then, in the biggest stars, the forge makes a fatal mistake. It starts producing iron. Iron is different. Every element before it releases energy when it fuses. Iron consumes it. Iron is the ash that kills the fire. The moment a giant star begins filling its core with iron, the furnace that has held it up for millions of years simply stops. And gravity, which has been waiting the entire life of the star, wins in less than 1 second. The core collapses at 1/4 of the speed of light. The star detonates. For a few weeks, this single explosion, a supernova, burns brighter than 100 billion suns. And in those impossible seconds, the dying star does 2 things at once. It forges the heaviest elements in existence, and it lets go, hurling everything it spent its whole life making out into the dark. Carbon, oxygen, calcium, iron, the entire treasury scattered into space. The star has to die. There is no gentler way to open the chest. This is not a theory. You can look at it. In the year 1054, astronomers in China recorded a new star in the sky, so bright it was visible in daylight for 3 weeks. What they saw was a supernova. And when we point a telescope at that exact spot today, we find this, the Crab Nebula, a cloud of stellar wreckage, 6 light-years wide, still expanding, a photograph of a star caught in the act of giving itself away. Clouds exactly like this one drifted for millions of years. They folded into new clouds, and one of those clouds, 5 billion years ago, collapsed into a new star, our Sun, and swept its leftover dust into planets. One of them is under your feet. So now we can finish the audit. The hydrogen in your water, born in the Big Bang, the first minutes of everything. The oxygen you are breathing right now, forged inside stars that died before the sun was born. The calcium in your teeth, the iron in your blood, supernova, supernova. The atoms crossed thousands of light years, waited out billions of years, passed through clouds and rocks and oceans, and are currently, temporarily, arranged as you. Your body is a museum of catastrophes, and every exhibit is original. Temporarily. That is the strange part. The atoms do not belong to you. They pass through. The water cycles in days. Most of the cells you are wearing will be rebuilt from new material again and again for as long as you live. The atoms come in, play their part, and move on into the air, the soil, someone else. What stays is not the material. What stays is the pattern, the arrangement that calls itself you. You are not a thing the universe made once. You are a shape the universe keeps redrawing, using borrowed stardust. And if that is true of you, it is true of everyone you love, the person whose hand you have held. They are built from the same clouds, possibly from the very same dying star. 2 clouds of ancient debris shaped by the same catastrophes that happen to drift close enough to notice each other. When you miss someone, that is supernova ash, missing supernova ash. The universe does not just contain love. The universe is what love is made of. Carl Sagan said it more simply than anyone. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Think about what actually happened here. Hydrogen, given 14 billion years, a few generations of dying stars, and enough time, eventually sat down on a small rocky planet, looked up at the night sky, and recognized it. The universe grew eyes and then wept with them. Every feeling you have ever had is something stardust learned to do. You are the part of the explosion that turned around to look back. This is the human equation, where the science of everything quietly turns into the truth of being someone. Yesterday, we found the gap that never closes. Today, the fire you were forged in. If knowing that you are the universe's way of feeling something made tonight a little larger, then stay. We are just getting started.